many times should you message before setting up a date? Why is it that when all I'm trying to do is spend some alone time, she swears that I'm thirsty? And finally, where is some place that's public, but it still feels like it's just us and we can have a meaningful conversation? So simply leave your questions in the comments section, and the questions that get the most likes and the ones I feel are the most valid will be responded to in a follow-up video. And as far as those other questions go, so it isn't necessarily about how many back and forth messages you guys do. It's more so the intervals in between the messages. For example, say she only hits you up once or twice the whole day. Chances are he or she are just checking their messages, in which case you hold no significant relevance. Now, 3 hours is a little bit better, but I personally wouldn't start setting up an actual date until the response back time between messages is closer to 1 to 2 hours. And in doing it this way, by setting up the date, she's less likely to cancel, and you're less likely not just wasting your time. For this one, chances are you're moving too fast. And since the idea of moving too fast varies from person to person, there's no real way of telling when to ask if they want to come over for Netflix and chill. So instead, invite them to a movie. Preferably a movie that you've already seen or you don't care about, in which case that way all your focus could be on her. And from there, during the movie, at some point, go to hold her hand and go ahead and try to, do like kiss on the hand or a little kiss on the cheek, and go ahead and try to put your arm around her. To act like a perfect gentleman in this setting should imply that you will have the same mannerisms and respects when you guys are really alone. And as a disclaimer, I do not recommend going on a movie date, until at least the third or fourth date. And for a common public setting where there's still a sense of privacy, you simply cannot beat Starbucks. People there are either in between their busy work days or they're there to meet up with a friend. Either way, they could care less about you and what you guys are talking about. And if you don't do coffee, do tea. Tea is actually a health agent for your organs, and as coffee gives an extrinsic high, tea gives an intrinsic high, making those deep conversations easier to keep up with. And just like those questions, all your questions will be answered thoroughly and in full detail. So, I guess I'll be seeing you guys soon.